Hello, I previously made a video on the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, and some easy tricks to remember those. I'm going to follow that up with the amendments 11 through 21, and hopefully I will get to 20 through 2 to 27 later. They're all important, and they all shape our lives as citizens every day, so they're worth knowing. Number 11. So I think of 1 equals 1, right? This is number 11, 1 equals 1. So that's to say one state equals another state. And you can debate if, personally, Michigan is equal to Florida with you, because Michigan doesn't have Disney World and Florida does. But the way our Constitution sees it, one state is equal to another state. And so what this says is that citizens that are living in one state can't sue another state. You have to go through your own state. You can't just start suing other states. You have to go through your own, okay? One state is equal to another. Number 12, if you think of it, the number one person in our country, the person with the most power, is probably our president, right? And then the second person under him would be our vice president. So that's why I like it, because 1 being the president and 2 being the vice president, the 12th Amendment has to do with how we come about electing our president and our vice president. Today, as we know it, the president and the vice president run together and they get elected together, right? And then one person and then the second person are voted on together. We have 1 and 2 together, like the number 12. It used to be that they just took whoever had the most votes was president, and whoever had the second most votes was vice president. But as you can guess, that caused a lot of frustration and chaos. And so now we vote on them together, okay? 13, 14, and 15. I have put these all together because they all have to do with the rights of African Americans. That's not to say that these aren't incredibly important, or to diminish them by putting them all on the same slide. It's just easier to think of them as like a grouping, because if you look at it logically, you can see why they happened in the order that they did. So if you think of 13, that's when a lot of people want their freedom. You know, you become a teenager, and so you want to kind of branch out from your parents. Our 13th Amendment gave freedom to African Americans. It abolished slavery and indentured servitude. So the 13th Amendment gave African Americans freedom, right? So to follow that, since they were free now, the 14th Amendment gave them citizenship. So you can see how they kind of make sense, right? First, the African Americans are given freedom, no more slavery. Yay for that. And then the next step is to give them citizenship. And then the 15th Amendment gives African American men the right to vote. So, like I said, if you look at this logically, you remember 13, 14, and 15 all go together. And it makes sense that first they got freedom, and then they got citizenship, and then the men got the right to vote. Okay? If you think of 16, your 16th Amendment, when you turn 16, a lot of us go out and we get our first driver's license. We have a little bit of like ability to go out and drive. And a lot of us get a first job at the age 16, right? So now you can drive to your job. So when you turn 16, you can get your license. You can get your first job. And once you get your first job, you can pay taxes. The 16th Amendment has to do with taxes and our ability to pay taxes. 17. I'll be honest and say 17 gave me a little bit of a hard time because I didn't know exactly how to find a trick to remember this one, but this is what I came up with. If you look at the number 17 and you take that 1 and that 7 and you kind of push them really close together, it kind of looks like an arrow to me, right? So 17, you take the 1 and 7 and you put them together, you get an arrow. And then that goes from you, personally, to your senator of your state. So the 17th Amendment says that you pick the senator for your state. Okay, so someone living in Hawaii isn't going to vote on the state senator for New York. Okay, the citizens in that state vote for their senator. So you pick your senator. Okay. The 18th Amendment, when you turn 18, that's when we are officially adults, right? And physically, if not spiritually. And so you can go out and you can be an adult, but you can still not drink, right? The legal drinking age is 21. So even though you're 18, even though you're an adult, you cannot drink. Um, so the 18th Amendment was prohibition. They abolished alcohol and they later brought it back. So we'll get to that. But the 18th Amendment, for a while in our U.S. History, it was against the law to drink alcohol. The 19th Amendment. Now, when you turn 18, we were just talking about that. One of the great things about turning 18 is that you get the right to vote, right? Women got the right to vote much later than they should have. So you think if 18 is when you should get the right to vote, it wasn't until 19, the 19th Amendment, that women got the right to vote, right? So a little bit later than what we should have, but we did get it, the right to vote. Number 20. 20 is pretty straightforward for me, right? So if you look at the number 20, I think January 20th. January 20th is when the vice president and president, when they're ending their term, noon on January 20th is officially when their term is over. So January 20th states in the 20th Amendment that that's when that term ends. 21, sometimes I wonder if they do this on purpose. They must not have. But when you turn 21, that's when you have the legal right to drink alcohol. Okay, so if we talked earlier about the 18th Amendment and how it abolished alcohol, that didn't go very well. So on the 21st Amendment, they brought it back. And today, if you are 21, you are legally allowed to drink alcohol. So that's 11 through 21. And I'm going to go ahead and do 22 just as a bonus because I like it. So if you look at 22, it's 2 and 2, right? And what the 22nd Amendment says is that the president can only serve 2 terms. 2 terms. All right. So thanks for listening. I hope that helped.